Howdy folks, today I'm going to show you how to make a shopping bag out of a feed bag using a sewing machine, so let's get started! I also have a video for the no sewing method, so if you prefer that method and you just want to use tape, there's a link to that video too. There are two methods I'm going to show here. I highly recommend watching the whole video before you start so that you can see the different ways and decide which way you want to do it. You'll also want to decide before you start whether you want to use the printed outside or the plain inside of the bag. Optional things are 1. A box that's the size of the bottom of your bag, and 2. A piece of cardboard to line the bottom of the bag when it's done. You can even cut out the side of the box you're using if that's what you want to do at the end. Now that you have everything, let's get started. Method 1. This time we'll be using the printed side of the bag. First, cut the old seam off the bottom of the bag. If you're using the printed side, turn the bag inside out now. Flatten it out and make sure you lay the bag out so that the front and back are on the top and bottom. The existing creases in the bag make a good reference point. Measure two 3-inch wide strips and cut them from the top of the bag. These will be used to make your handles. Measure and cut out a rectangle from the bottom corners that's 3.5 inches from the bottom and 3 inches from the side. Now you're going to sew across the bottom seam about a 1/2 inch from the edge. And on each of the bottom corners, we're going to match up the two sides on a diagonal, and then we're going to sew across that. The bottom of your bag is now completed. Now we can proceed to the handles. Decide whether you want your handles to have the printed side or the plain side visible and turn them inside out if necessary. Take one of the strips you cut out and fold it into thirds. This will form 6 layers. Sew along the length of them on both sides so that they stay flat. Around the top of the bag, fold out a flap about 3 inches wide. This will be the thickened part that you sew the handles into, so it should be wide enough to fit your handles. You can use a ruler or anything with a mark on it to get the length the same all the way around. The pattern on the bag can help with this too. Sew all the way around to hold this fold in place. If you want the handles hidden on the inside, I suggest sewing them in before you flip the bag inside out again, unlike how I did here. Pin or tape them temporarily where they're going to sit, and then sew them to the bag with a box X stitch. Turn your bag inside out again to make it right side out, and your bag is complete. You can put a cardboard liner in the bottom if you want to. Also note the barcode might get scanned at the store, so if you're using the printed side, you can cover a marker over it. And that's it for method 1. Let's do method 2. This time we'll be using the printed side of the bag. We'll also be using some pieces of webbing for the handles instead of sections of the bag. Cut the seam off the bottom and turn the bag inside out. Sew across the bottom to make your new seam. Fold the bottom perpendicular to your seam to make a diamond shape like this. Fold over the tips to create a line where your next seams are going to be. You'll want to adjust until the length of your seam matches the length of the remaining side, the blue and red here. Sew across these two seams and the bottom of the bag is complete. You can turn it inside out now so that your flaps and seams are hidden on the inside of the bag. Around the top, make a fold inward all the way around to double the thickness at the top of the bag. If you're making handles out of the bag, this would be the time to cut strips off of the top to use for your handles like we did in method 1. Sew the flap all the way around. Again, you can use markings on the bag to get it aligned. Next, decide where your handle is going to sit and sew on each end with a box X stitch. And your bag is complete. You can put a cardboard liner in the bottom if you want to, and again, the barcode might get scanned at the store, so you might want to deal with that. As I showed with the tape bags, these are ultra tough and you can hold more than you'll want to carry anyway. And that's it for this time. If you had any questions or comments, leave a comment below. Again, if you want to tape the bags instead, I have a video on those techniques too. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, and if you want to leave a tip, you can hit the thanks button or send me a PayPal or some Bitcoin or any of several other methods in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.